3, go.
My name is Dave Moore, and I'm running for Congress in the 3rd District of South Carolina on the American Party of South Carolina ticket. If you help get me elected, which I need a lot of, but you help me get elected, my #1 priority for an investigation is going to be what happened in the Iraq War with the Humvees. And what I'm talking about is 6 weeks after the war supposedly was won and over, in May of 2003, the first IED attack that killed our guys in a Humvee happened in Iraq. November was the first IED attack in Afghanistan. Now everybody is well aware of what Rumsfeld said, and what every GI learned over there was that the flat bottom on the Humvee, which is not far from the ground, very flat, armored, actually extended the explosion of any IED. It just increased it. And an Army E4, I believe, got up and told Rumsfeld, look, we have to go and weld on armor and everything, and we call it hillbilly armor, and we need some help with these vehicles. And Rumsfeld famously just simply blew him off by saying, well, you go to war with the army you have, not the army you want to have. I mean, what a complete psychopath. But at any rate, there was this span, 2003 to 2007. 2007, Rumsfeld is finally fired, and Robert Gates is in. Of all things, in 2007, he reads an article in USA Today that tells him about MRAPs that are available and were available. And so he then sees that, and Rumsfeld could have done it with a stroke of the pen. He then wrote an order and said, we need a crash program, we need 24,000 MRAPs. And MRAP stands for Mine Resistant Ambush Protected Vehicle, because the Humvees at first had canvas doors. They had nothing to protect anybody from shooting or machine gunning them as they went past. So the question to me is, you mean to tell me not one general or anybody else knew about how previous wars had dealt with this? And what I'm speaking about is the Rhodesian Civil War that ended in 1980. But the Rhodesian Civil War, they were losing guys to IEDs. A man by the name of Conchal was the one who invented the first mine-resistant vehicle. And he invented this hole. He was actually an electrician. He invented the V-hole that would disperse, and it was higher up. And eventually I have photographs of all of these on my website and also insert them into this video at a later date. But they had names like alligator and leopard and such. And the other thing was South Africa had a vehicle called the Caspier that started production in 1980. But Mercedes and Jeep had gotten involved in this. So the fact of the matter is, there were plenty of vehicles that were available. But here we start again with the military-industrial complex, generals and idiots. And what do? They spend $1 billion. What kind of vehicle do we need to develop? And in my opinion, all they had to do was go to a few military museums and look at what was there. I'm sure they would have let them go there after hours, take photos, you name it. After $1 billion, what does our MRAP look like? It looks like the Caspier. But I know the Caspier doesn't cost that much. Our MRAPs cost $1 million a piece. Now you compare that to the Humvee. The Humvee was like $300,000, $400,000. And during that 4-year period, they didn't want to swap them out. Obviously, there was corruption, in my opinion. We'll just up-armor these things. That's not going to work, and it didn't work. And the fact is, during that 4-year period, I'm not making these numbers up. This was a RAND study. 1,400 GIs were killed directly by IEDs from 2003 to 2007. 33,000 were wounded during that 4-year period, and over 300,000 of our soldiers suffered at least a mild concussion during this period. So the point is, we obviously could have rushed something to protect our soldiers. But this is what I want to do if I can get elected to Congress. Very first thing is I'm going to ask, well, request a report, which I have the right, from Congressional Research Service. I want to know why this was denied, who was behind it, why did we go with up-armoring Humvees? Is this corruption? What have you? And the other thing is to find out just exactly who was responsible for the deaths and maimings of our soldiers and make sure that they're banned for life from any contract ever with the federal government. And you may say this is something I'm always going to bring up. You can say, oh, well, what are you going to be able to do? You're just one guy and you're not going to be with the Democrats or the Republicans. You're not going to caucus with them or what have you. And my point is, well, I'm not going to be told what to do by them either. But you elect me, I have 700 days. I'm not going to shut up about this. And they're going to do something about it. They're going to get this report done. We're going to find out who these people are. I'm going to stalk them, other congressmen and senators, into the bathroom, the gym, the chow line, follow them outside to whatever restaurant that they want to go to. I'm going to be going up, hey, Pelosi, drop the phone. You need to work with this on me. I'm going to be going up and saying, hey, David Koch, move your fat ass. Lindsey Graham, you need to work with me on this right now. We need to find out who was responsible for this. And I need your help, and I'm saying send lawyers, guns, and money. It's daveforcongress.org. I really need your help on this and to share this with whoever you can. My name is Dave Moore. To close, my name is Dave Moore. I'm running for Congress and I approved of this message.